Hey guys, Killux here, the #1 Virgin Collector in North America. In part 4 of the Legion Remix Tips and Tricks series, we're diving into one of the most important parts of the event. How to efficiently level up and set up your army with minimal effort. This involves multi-boxing strategies and as well as 2 absolutely insane infinite power farm spots that are so broken they will get nerfed. I'm not kidding, watch until the end because both of these are going to disappear very soon. I'm totally kidding. Wowhead, please do not watch my video. I don't want this nerfed. Quick PSA before we get started. There's currently a bug with Artifactium Sand not dropping past a certain point for some accounts. If you notice you haven't received any weapon eye level upgrade items for some time, just unequipped and re-equipped your artifact weapon. This fixes it. All the links and updates I mentioned in this video will be posted in my collector's Discord, so make sure you join that if you want to stay ahead of the curve during this event. And as always, I'll be streaming live at twitch.tv/KillerKTV if you want to hang out, ask questions, or just watch me test these kinds of farms in real time. Let's talk Mythic Plus. The 5-tank meta is still very much alive, even after the affix hotfix. The current strongest setup at the moment uses 5 tanks. Me and the LeBron family tested out some runs for you guys, and it seems that stacking 4 tanks with Twisted Crusade artifact power and 1 tank with Call of the Forest seems to be insanely broken at the moment. Here's why. Call of the Forest gives a 100% cooldown reduction for 10 seconds, and this applies to every single person in your group, even their Twisted Crusade artifact ability, which resets faster when a Call of the Forest is used, thus allowing you to fel spike more or have your demon out more, which is insanely broken at the moment. So when you press Call of the Forest, it gets their Twisted Crusade ability back almost immediately. If you're optimizing your comp, have your lowest eye level or weakest player use Call of the Forest. They'll feed the entire party cooldown reduction uptime. Now let's talk about tank balance. Blood Decays are absolutely broken right now. They're unmatched self-sustain, easy damage, and unkillable durability. I mean, look at LeBron go. Look at his damage. He's doubling every single person in the group right now, guys, in a +31. Demon Hunter tanks are starting to fall off. The defensive scaling just doesn't keep up. And at higher levels, they tend to get one shot pretty easily. I'm talking about like 50 plus keys, guys, not like, you know, like 25s or 30s. That said, this could shift later on as item levels rise and more limits on bound trades come into play. For now, though, they're still sitting comfortably right behind Blood Death Knights. Druids and Paladins are following right behind. They're pretty good as well. And Warriors are solid, but they're much less efficient. Blood Death Knights are absolutely broken right now thanks to how their pet scaling interacts with the current system. And thanks to Twisted Crusade being hotfixed earlier this week, Demonology Warlocks are also insane for the same reason. Their pet scales incredibly well and synergize perfectly with Twisted Crusade. However, outside of tanks, almost every other spec just gets deleted in higher key levels. Only tanks are really manageable at the highest key levels. Mythic Plus isn't great for gearing at the moment either. Each key only rewards 1 guaranteed piece per run, and the item level scaling is completely off. Generally, the key level you are doing, you are outgearing anyways, thus not benefiting from the end of the dungeon guaranteed loot. You'll outgear the drops almost instantly, so treat Mythic Plus purely as a secondary infinite power source, and honestly a pretty lackluster one at that. Rates still completely dominate when it comes to gearing and experience gains, while open world infinite power farms remain the most optimal way to rapidly power up your characters right now. Now, let's talk about leveling your army efficiently. This setup is perfect for both solo and multi-box setups as well. You can level your entire all-army extremely passively using normal and LFR raids. At the time of this testing, my artifact weapon account-wide experience boost was 150% exactly. Each boss was granting me over 1 entire level per kill. Note that you will have to level the characters to level 20 however way you want it. You can easily get level 25 from Emerald Nightmare LFR, thus allowing you to queue into Trial of Valor. Emerald Nightmare LFR unlocks at level 20, and Trial of Valor LFR unlocks at level 25. Note that the first boss in Trial of Valor does not give experience, since you technically don't kill him. On top of this, you'll receive a perfected Epoch Memento for every level 80 alt via a quest called The End of an Epoch Journey. This will add a permanent 10% experience boost to your account. If you'd like more information about stacking experience gains on your account, make sure to check out the other parts of the series for a more in-depth guide, specifically part 3. You also gain 1% stacking experience buff per infinite research daily. This is why it's so important to constantly turn them in and pick up new ones during the leveling process. Raids reset daily, so you can rotate through your characters, run 1 or 2 raids per alt per day, and level your entire roster at a relaxed pace. You can literally AFK every single boss. Just move to the next one. Guys, it is the most chill method to level in this event right now. The bosses melt because of how overpowered everyone is in the game. And specifically for my testing, Captain Underpants over here got level 25 to 52 the first day in clearing normal and LFR Emerald Nightmare and Trial of Valor. And on day 2, Captain Underpants got from level 52 to 68 solely from LFR Emerald Nightmare and Trial of Valor. This was not even with normal raids. So you could do this grind strictly through LFR if you want a more chill AFK or solo experience. It's not the fastest method in the existence, but it's extremely consistent, effortless, and perfect for multi-boxers or anyone leveling while working or watching streamers or just doing anything or just is sidetracked. Open world leveling in Legion Remix scales in a very strange way. Your alt characters level up way faster than your item level can keep up due to massive increases in experience across your account from your artifact weapon experience warbound stacking boost. This means mobs start hitting much harder while your damage barely increases. This is drastically noticed on heroic world tier mode, especially if you don't have eye level and you don't have infinite power stacked up. Your artifact weapon, which is supposed to be your main source of power, gains item level much slower than the rest of your gear. Since most of your overall strength in this game mode comes directly from the weapon, you'll start to feel noticeably weaker the faster you level, especially with these insanely high speed methods. The result is an uneven spread of item levels across your entire character's gear. Your weapons end up drastically lower eye level than every single other slot of armor on your character. For example, your first character might have leveled at a slower pace and stayed properly geared because it took much longer to gear and you did much more content. So let's talk hypothetical numbers here. Maybe your first character is around 450 eye level at level 70, but your second or third alt or fourth alt leveling much faster could easily end up at 280 to 300 eye level at level 70. That's a massive difference in power level, and you'll feel it immediately when grinding alts using these accelerated routes. But here's the trick. In raids, none of the scaling matters. Even a completely undergeared alt can do raids due to the other powerful members inside the group. Reds bypass even world scaling entirely, and the bosses consistently drop gear that is scaled to your character's eye level, while giving consistent XP, infinite power, and infinite research progress all at the same exact time. And they're very chill in AFK. Make sure every single alt you're leveling is consistently picking up and completing infinite research dailies. Prioritize infinite research dailies that require you to kill enemies, clear raids, or complete content you can do inside raids. When you finish a set, teleport out of the raid, pick up the new ones, and teleport straight back into your raid. You can chain multiple turn-ins this way and complete 2 to 3 dailies per raid run within the same day on the same character if you get the right amount of dailies. This not only gives you more XP and infinite power, but also stacks Warbound wide 1% XP buffs every single time you finish a research daily, boosting future alt leveling speeds. The more you do this method, the faster your next character will level up. For players running multiple accounts, multi-boxing is absolutely king right now. Here's how I'm personally doing it. I keep my main account as the active farmer and my alt account on a second account. If you're confused about multi-boxing and dual boxing, make sure you check out my multi-boxing guide down in the description. Here's how I personally do this method. This could differ depending on the person. I keep my main account as the active farmer and my alt account on my second account. I dual box raids, inviting my alts into groups, and I park them safely while my main clears the bosses and whatever content I'm doing. My alts passively gain experience, gear, infinite power, and infinite research credit. Over time, this lets me level, gear, and progress multiple characters at the same time, all while playing mostly on my main and doing content that I'm going to do on my main anyways. If you can't multi-box, don't worry. I'm not telling you to go buy another account and multi-box. Leveling is already fast enough without it, but if you can, it's easily the most efficient setup right now in the game to do things effectively. In part 3, I mentioned that saving your fragmented mementos of epoch challenges for later optimization is better. Forget that, it's not worth it. Just use these once you get at least 20 infinite knowledge on your account. Just start using them immediately. It's just not really worth saving it, even from a min-max perspective. The gain that you gain from this is so minuscule, it just does not matter. Each new rank only adds around 1,562 to 1,563 infinite power per rank, so just use them as soon as you can. The return is very small, so dump them early and focus on other account-wide progression systems. Now, for the most part of this video, the infinite power farm. These are absurdly efficient and will 100% get hotfixed. But no surprise when it comes to Legion Remix, you do have to be a tank for these methods to work, or at least have one in the group leading the pulls. For spot number 1, we have an Azuna by the Warden Vault instance area. The requirements are going to be as followed: at least 630 eye level and 50 plus limits unbound traits stacked. This is the high item level farm, so be warned, if you're under 630 eye level, you're going to get absolutely destroyed here. To make this grind smooth and consistent, aim for 630 to 650 eye level before diving in. The good news is, the more you farm this spot, the easier it becomes. That's because your limits unbound trait scales exponentially. Once you start pushing into the triple digits of that trait, your character's power level overall skyrockets, making this farm drastically faster and safer over time. The route that we specifically came up with, me and the LeBron family over here, LeBron Cow and LeBron Goat, gives around 674,000 infinite power per hour with a 3 squad setup. Ideally 2 tanks and 1 DPS. Keep in mind these are the rates that I personally received, so they will differ for everyone else. The amount of fragmented mementos you loot will drastically change this rate. So once you're over 630 eye level, you'll clear faster than the mobs can even respawn. Use these tricks that I mentioned in this video to effectively farm this area. The first spot is going to be right here as we're doing this first area. You're going to pull everything down the road and all the way up to the house. You're specifically not going to pull anything inside the tower or the house, as any mobs that you pull in there that come outside of the circle inside the house will instantly reset. If your group is clearing all 3 spots so fast that you're waiting on any respawn timers and you are not able to realm hop, you're going to go inside this house right here, north of the first spot. West rather. Not sure, you'll have to figure it out. It's literally the tower right there. You are only doing this spot if you're clearing the other 3 spots so fast that you have to wait for respawn. This is because these mobs have to stay inside the circle, otherwise they will reset. Okay, so you guys are only killing this spot right here if you're killing the other 3 spots so fast that you're waiting for respawn timers. After the first spot, you're going to fly all the way here to the second tower. This is going to be the second most efficient spot. You're going to pull all of these mobs here and kill this pack on the hill. You do not want to pull the adepts that are running down the road, as those do not give any loot. They're sort of just like role-playing monsters that just like continuously pour down the road. They do not give loot, so try to avoid pulling those. After clearing the second spot, we're going to head on over to the third spot, which is directly down the ramp over here. Remember, avoid pulling the adepts that run down the ramp, as those do not give loot. You also want to try to avoid pulling those big giant triangle ziggurat looking things, as they do not give loot either. Once this pull dies, we're just going to rinse and repeat, starting from pull number 1. Remember, these have 3-minute respawn timers. So at first, if your character is weak, you might be taking more than 3 minutes to kill each pack. But as you get stronger and stronger and stronger, you start to kill them pretty fast to the point where you have to wait for respawn timers. Spot number 2 is going to be a much slower rate, but has much lower requirements. This is going to be the Surmar Grand Promenade Farm. This one is overpowered because you can do it at much lower eye level. The requirements will be as follows: at least 610 eye level and plus 20 limits unbound traits. For this one specifically, to keep it shorter, we're just going to post the coordinates. There are 5 total spots, and you'll go in order from spot to spot to spot. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And you'll pull everything in that area, kill it all, and move on to the next spot. This is great for lower eye level people and people that are not quite as fully powerful for the Azuna spot. This has much lower requirements. It has consistent pulls, low mob variance, and has a great infinite power gain per hour. Multiboxing also works perfectly here for both methods, the Azuna and the Suramar one. Multiboxing works for just about anything in this game. And the best part is your side accounts don't even need to do anything. Just log in them, park them nearby, and AFK completely. Only loot once the mobs are dead. Whatever you do, don't attack or tag mobs with your side accounts. Doing so drastically increases enemy health and damage. If your alts are just standing idle, they won't contribute to mob scaling, meaning your main character can shred through everything while your side accounts still collect full rewards. Keep in mind, this is not a gear farm spot. Your side characters won't get upgrades quickly, but they'll gain infinite power in Fragmented Mementos at an absolutely insane rate for their level. With this setup, I was able to unlock Fell Spike on multiple alts starting as low as level 15. The power spike is ridiculous for that low of a character. It makes running Heroic World Tier a complete joke all the way up to level 70. If you're rotating alts through this farm, I recommend swapping to the next one once you've unlocked the Fell Spike talent. Since you cannot invest limits unbound traits until level 80 anyways, the memento fragments you earn will massively boost the survivability of your lower level rat alts by giving them tons of stamina early on, which makes a huge difference when you're just getting started in Heroic World Tier. Another thing is, if you happen to get the Kai'Veza obelisk on one of your leeching alts, things get even broken. You notice Data Chill over here is permanently stealthed. When the buff expires from the obelisk, your alt can stay permanently stealthed as long as it doesn't attack anything. You can still mount, fly, and loot in this state. To make your AFK alt even more useful, you can run Call of the Wild as your artifact talent and use it on cooldown to make your group cooldown reduction. Note that this will most likely break your stealth from the Kai'Veza obelisk, but it shouldn't. For maximum efficiency, install the Faster Loot add-on. It reduces loot display to almost instant pickup. Just be careful, this farm is so overloaded that looting mid-pull will cost massive lag spikes. It's like stepping on a landmine mid-pull, you'll probably die from the lag spike. Some extra notes if you want to push this farm to the absolute limits. Dual boxing works perfectly for all infinite power farms. You can park your alt nearby and passively gain account progress. If you want to maximize your pull speed once you're strong enough to start outpacing the mob's respawn timers, you can take it even further by shard swapping with your group. Here's how it works. If your group has members from different realms, you can use them to constantly switch shards and completely eliminate downtime. Once you've cleared a pool, just leave the party and have someone from a different realm invite you. This forces a shard swap and instantly gives you a fresh set of mobs to farm if no other group is there. To pull this off, make sure both players are in the same zone, but on different realm shards. For example, if you're on Area 52 and have a friend from Illidan invite you, you will be faced to an Illidan shard. With this method, your group can chain farm non-stop, completely bypassing the 3-minute respawn timer and maintaining constant infinite power and memento income. Remember that this is not a gear or experience grind. Experience gain from these mobs is very minimal. I tested this on multiple level 10s and it was not efficient for leveling at all. However, it significantly increased the power level of those characters. Infinite power scaling makes this method god tier for mid to high end accounts, pushing power gains at the very start. If you're struggling to farm Ancient Mana in Suramar, make sure you pick up the Mana Diving Stone and use it. You'll get it very early on in the Suramar campaign. Once equipped, it marks ancient map crystals directly on your minimap, making it much easier to route efficiently and farm these. You'll also passively earn ancient mana just by killing mobs in Suramar while doing world quests, so you'll be stacking up naturally over time. Ancient mana is used for the Withered Army training event, And it also has a ton of different quest turn-ins for the Suramar campaign that require you to get a couple hundred of these, up to 1,200. So you see the blue crystals on the map. You can use this item to track them easily, land, loot it, and go next. Another infinite research daily that you'll come across involves flying through the air and collecting motes or killing monsters mid-air with your dragon riding mounts. Some zones are far better than others for this one, and after testing a bunch of areas, these are the top spots worth focusing on the fastest for completion and mob density. I noticed in Val'sharah around Blackrock Hold was the best spot around the tower. These mobs are kind of all over the place, so you can just fly around and complete your daily mote quest and killing mobs in the air pretty efficiently around here. The second spot is Suramar, right around Nighthold in the same area as this. There's a lot more mobs around here that I noticed than in any other place. They're just kind of like spread out all over the place, so just keep flying around the towers. They seem to hang out around buildings and around towers. The third spot is going to be in Azuna, around the middle of the map, all over the water area in the sky, around Narathal's Academy. This spot is a little bit hit or miss, but I've had some good luck around here in the past. Try to stick around the mountains and around the water. You'll find some mobs here every now and then, but the best spots in my opinion are the Val'sharah and the Suramar spots. If you've missed the Legion dungeon portals before in the past, you can earn them again in a remix. Right now, Mythic plus Keystones can be active and way easier thanks to the insane power scaling. Timing any of these 5 dungeons on a +20 or higher will unlock their respective teleport portals. Blackrock Hold, Court of Stars, Darkheart Thicket, Halls of Valor, and Iltharion's Lair. All the other dungeons seem to not have a portal just yet. Maybe Blizzard will add these in and hotfix them later, but you can at least get 5 portals if you haven't gotten them in the past. Fresh level 80s might struggle early on, but with more and more gear and infinite power, you'll be able to solo them pretty easily later on. Tanks are especially shining right now since they can push much higher keys, so if you want free points, play a tank and start climbing the ranks. And that wraps up part 4 of my tips and tricks series. We covered all army setup, multiboxing methods, infinite research dailies, raid leveling, the blood decay meta, and the 2 most busted infinite power farms in the entire event before it gets nerfed. If this guide helped you out, drop a like and subscribe. Part 5 will be out very soon. Make sure to join my collector's Discord if you want to chat and share your progress. You can also catch me live at twitch.tv/KilliKTV. I'll be farming this event 20 hours a day with my little doo-doo farmers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.